I think pretty much every cyclist probably wants to improve their climbing ability. So here are some pro tips to help you get up hills faster, or just to conquer gradients that may have either daunted or defeated you in the past. How you approach a climb has a significant effect on the final outcome. The most important thing to think about is pacing yourself. If you go too hard too early on a climb, you can run into oxygen debt, which is that feeling where your legs are burning and you just can't gulp down enough air. So, on longer climbs, kind of like this one, you need to measure your effort. So start out gently, if you can, and then wait for the effort to come to you. You can always go faster later on if you've got the energy. Mental strength is often overlooked, but it's absolutely key on riding up climbs when you need to suffer. But we're not all born with an ability to suffer like Matt Stevens, but there are a few tricks around this. Simplest and most effective is to break the climb down into manageable chunks. Don't focus on the top, but take it kilometre by kilometre or corner by corner. Tick off each marker as you go so you don't get overwhelmed by the task at hand. Now we're well and truly on the climb, let's think about technique. Now for most riders, the most efficient and fastest way to the top is to climb in the saddle, only getting out of the saddle for short climbs or for little bursts where you need an injection of power. Now when seated, the key is to keep your upper body still. A lot of people will bob and move around, but that doesn't add any power to the pedals, it's just wasting energy. So keep your arms relaxed, breathe, and stay still. Having said all that, some riders, particularly smaller ones, will find that it's actually more comfortable to climb out the saddle. And if that's you, then go for it. The key is to listen to what your body's telling you and then try and make it as comfortable as possible. Either way though, most people will find that the best way is to actually mix up the two. So if you normally climb seated, you can get out of the saddle to stretch tired muscles or ease a bit of pressure on your bum. Sitting back in the saddle, take some pressure off the pedals and maybe change gear. Being able to stay seated does rely on having gears that are low enough to allow you to keep the pedals turning. Now, although there's no ideal cadence at which to pedal at, being able to choose the cadence that you want to is really important, and that's actually also scientifically proven to be the most efficient cadence. Now, what this means in practice is that you need gears on your bike that are low enough to allow you to ride the climbs that you want to ride. Now, most bikes these days will come with a compact chain set, and having been retired from racing for a couple of years, Dan, Matt and I will all use a compact chain set as well. The only gear that you miss is a 5311, and we don't actually really need that one anymore. And at the other end of the spectrum, having a 34 inner ring and a large ratio cassette at the back gives you gears that are low enough to ride up just about anything. Although we've only focused so far on the specifics of climbing, it's actually rare that your ride will just be up one hill. It's far more likely that you're riding repeated hills and everything in between. So in order to climb like a pro, we need to look after ourselves so that we're in the best possible condition for when we hit the climbs. And the main way of doing this is by fueling correctly so that we preserve our precious stores of carbohydrate, which are essential for high intensity riding. So look to eat one piece of food per hour of riding. Could be a bar or a gel or a piece of fruit, anything that means that you conserve your carbohydrate stores for when you need them most. It's inescapable physics that it takes less effort to climb if you're lighter, and that applies to both you and also your bike. So lose weight from either, and it's a simple way of getting better. One way though takes effort but is cheaper, the other way is more expensive but addictively good fun. A balanced approach then is probably to lose a little bit of weight from both. Now fitness, or more specifically training, probably has the biggest bearing on your ability to ride up climbs, but you don't need to live near beautiful alpine roads in order to get good at them. In fact, there are loads of great training sessions you can do even on the flat. So why not watch a dedicated training video? If you click up here or down here, you can watch a video where we'll recommend specific training sessions you can do that will get you nailing climbs. For more Like a Pro videos, just click on me to subscribe. So there you go then, how to climb like a pro. Pace yourself and don't neglect your head, your bike, your body or your nutrition. You don't need to live near beautiful alpine climb. Do you hear me squeak? Beautiful. Let's do another one.